question of the day is, do you need a real estate agent? Well, let's see. Are you the type of person who does their own taxes? Are you the type of person who, if you were on trial for murder, that you would say you wanted to be your own attorney? Real estate agents are professionals, and they have experience doing what you're doing for the very first time. You know, if this was your 10th house, yeah, sure, maybe you could do it without a real estate agent. But my suggestion is that you add a real estate agent to your pro team. Back in the day, you couldn't find properties for sale unless you went to a real estate agent. They had they had little books in their office that looked like little paper newspapers, and you'd have to look through those books and see the properties that were available. And, you know, sometimes you could drive through neighborhoods and find signs on the lawn or whatever. But for the most part, if you wanted to buy a house, you had to go to a real estate agent. And every real estate agent, every office used to have its own listings. So you could go to one place and then you could go to 10 other places, but the real estate agent was always working for the seller. Now, you don't really need a real estate agent to find the actual house, right? You can go online. There's a million different websites and places where you can find what properties are available. You can go yourself, usually to an open house. You don't need the agent to do that. So what is the point, right? Why in this day and age do you need a real estate agent? Well, just like when you're on trial for murder, there are a lot of legal things. There are a lot of intricacies that are going to come up, including, so you're going to be signing contracts, which obviously your attorney can help you with, but you're also going to be putting in an offer, and you potentially could be competing with other people. We're going to talk a little bit more about that later, but normally a real estate agent will have relationships with other real estate agents. They'll know what kind of market we're in, so they'll know what kinds of things need to be included in that offer that could make it more competitive, give you a better chance of getting the home. They also can do market analysis so that they can tell you a pretty good idea of what the house is going to sell for, and you can decide whether you actually are willing to pay that much. Not only that, there are things that real estate agents know. They have an experience and a breadth of knowledge that you are not really going to have unless you've been basically studying Zillow for the last 10 years. So, like I said, if this was your 10th house that you were buying, sure, you can potentially go along. But let me tell you, I use a real estate agent. When I buy property in another state, I use a real estate agent. When I sell property in another state, I use a real estate agent. Now, I am a real estate agent, right? So I know all the stuff that needs to be known, but I don't know the local area. I don't know the local market. So that's where your agent can really come in handy. Not only that, an important thing for you to know, which is not, I don't think, common knowledge, the difference between a real estate agent and a realtor and a broker. So first, a broker. A broker is normally the person who owns the office. So I have my broker's license, but I can't work as a broker because I work under another broker. If I wanted to work as a broker, I'd have to leave RE/MAX because there can only be one person acting as broker in the office. So the broker is kind of the boss. They're the person who is going to have the high level license, and all the agents work under them. Now, the difference between a realtor and a real estate agent: every realtor is a real estate agent, but not every real estate agent is a realtor. So realtor is like, it's a professional group, and people who agree to become realtors are agreeing to a higher code of ethics, a higher standard. Basically, it doesn't mean that a real estate agent who's not a realtor might not be fantastic, but for the most part, if you're going to a realtor, you know that that person is going to have, for sure, a higher standard of ethical behavior, because if they don't, another realtor will call them on it and they'll get kicked out of the association. So it's one easy way to find. It's an easy, when you're looking for a number, you're looking through the millions of agents that are going to be in your area. One easy way to rule out some of them is just to focus on ones who have that designation that they are a realtor, a member of the National Association of Realtors, a professional organization. There are a lot of other criteria that you should be using to choose your agent. The main ones are you want someone who you like. And what I mean, and it's not a popularity contest, but if the person grates on you, if you find them irritating, you're not going to get to the point where they're your confidant in this. You have to trust them. You have to feel comfortable with them, and you have to feel like they have your best interest at heart. We say the person has to know that you have to know, like, and trust the real estate agent or the realtor. And basically that's the situation. If there are some real estate agents who are just, they're, to be kind, they're pompous asses. And I think to myself, how could you possibly go on showing after showing with this person when they're so irritating? But if that's the kind of person you want, if that's the kind of person you connect with, then hey, that's okay. But that's the key. If you think every time the realtor calls, you're like, oh my God, I can't believe I have to talk to this idiot again, you're not with the right person. You want to find someone who you legitimately like. Not like, they don't have to be buddies with you, but you can't hate them. You have to 100% trust them. You have to understand and know and believe that they have your best interest at heart, which legally they have to have. You may not realize that any real estate agent owes you complete obedience. They have to do what you say. So if you say, I want to put in an offer for this $500,000 place, I want to offer $200,000, they can't just say no. They have to be obedient to you and do everything within the law that you ask them to do with regards to real estate. They have to be loyal to you. They can't be doing something behind your back. They can't be betraying your trust in any way. They have to give you full disclosure. So they have to tell you everything that they know about the property, including and actually especially if they think that that thing is going to be something that you're not going to like, right? They have to tell you everything, something that would impact your decision to buy the house. They have to tell you. So if they say, oh, you know what? I don't know if you realized it, or, it seems like there was water in the basement. The seller is saying there wasn't, but, hey, when I used to know somebody who lived here and they said they had water in the basement or whatever, just anything that could materially determine or materially influence your decision to buy the house. Your real estate agent, your buyer's agent has to tell you that. They have to keep your confidentiality. So if you go see a house and you say, oh man, I would pay $100,000 over the asking price, that agent cannot then go to the agent for the seller and say, oh, they totally love the house, they'll pay way over the asking price. That's not in your best interest, and so they can't do that. And finally, they have to show you reasonable care. So they have to they are your advocate. They're taking care of you. And you have to feel that, and you have to believe that. And even though that's the rule, it's not accurate that 100% of people are following the rules, right? Not everybody goes the speed limit. And that's the way it is in real estate. Not every agent is created equal. So find one who you feel and you believe is 100% looking out for you, cares about you, would gladly lose a sale to protect you. Okay? This is not about their commission. This is not about the money. And that's the other piece of this. There's no reason not to have a real estate agent because you are not paying that person. Really, the seller has made a contract with their agent, with the seller's agent, and that agent has agreed to share half the money with you. If you go there by yourself and you buy the house directly from the seller's agent, that just means the seller's agent keeps all the money. It doesn't change the seller's situation one bit in most cases. So you think, oh, they'll be happy because I'm going to, they're going to get to keep some more money. But the seller isn't going to get to keep any more money. And if the agent shows you a preference over another buyer who's offering more money, then that agent could be taken up on charges. So most people who are ethical are not going to do that. So if you think you're giving yourself an advantage by not having a real estate agent, most of the time that is not the case. And like I said, if you're the kind of person who would want to represent themselves in a murder trial, then you're probably not going to want a real estate agent. But if you didn't have to pay the attorney, then what would you do? So only you can decide whether it makes sense for you to have a real estate agent. But in my humble opinion, for your very first sale, it would be helpful for you to have somebody who's going to be on your side and taking care of you every step of the way. And I'm not just saying that because I am a real estate agent. But I guess because I'm a real estate agent, I am seeing things from that other side, seeing the lens of what I know I'm doing in the background to help my clients that they couldn't even know to do, and that most likely that the other agent wouldn't give them the openness and the dialogue that they're going to give me. So make your own decision. If you have any questions, you can just drop me a note into the chat.